Whenever you're ready.
We're the lead school business, and we're going to present a buy recommendation on advanced energy industries today. My name is Anton Trainer. This is Sterling Boyne, Samuel Trapp, Raj Suri, and Alexis DeLulio. In the middle of January, we have initiated a buy recommendation through the use of a report on advanced energy industries with a price target of $79.10. Really, the fundamental driver of this valuation was the historical track record that Advanced Energy's had with smaller acquisitions in the past, leading up to the Artisan acquisition last year, which was by far their biggest acquisition to date. This is really the key driver of our buy recommendation, and in the coming slides, we're going to tell you how that factored into our evaluation and our analysis of the company. Sam Trapp is going to give you a little background on the company.
Thanks, Anton. Advanced Energy is headquartered in Fort Collins, Colorado, and they manufacture their products in plants across the US, UK, Europe, and China. The company is a pure-play precision power conversion, measurement, and control solutions original equipment manufacturer, and the products are used in mission-critical applications that facilitate power conversion. Advanced Energy offers products for power supply, thermal process, and analytic solutions for the semiconductor industry, while Artisan offers AC-DC power supplies and DC-DC energy converter products. The company operates in 4 distinct segments. The first two, semiconductor equipment and industrial medical, stem from the legacy Advanced Energy platform. The former two, data center computing and telecom and networking, arose from acquiring Artisan this past year. The company's 2 largest customers are Applied Materials and Lam Research, which accounted for 27.8% of 2018 combined revenue, and the majority of the company's sales come from the US and Asia. And now Alexis is going to talk about competitive positioning.
So as Sam mentioned, Advanced Energy operates in 4 distinct industries. Data center computing is expected to grow at the fastest rate at 15% CAGR, and telecom and networking is expected to grow at 6% CAGR. However, Advanced Energy is planning to increase spending allocation by 105% in this industry to support 5G wireless infrastructure.
With the acquisition, Advanced Energy Semiconductor maintains its market leader position while also diversifying its market segments and reducing cyclicality risk. In medical and industrial tech, it is posed with the acquisition to benefit from the technological change of the medical industry from a laggard to an innovator. And its award-winning supplier excellence was well positioned to bring on a large amount of new customers from the Artisan acquisition. And so this, I'm going to go through the graph on the right, which is how we projected top line revenue. We based everything off of the 8K pro forma. And so the acquisition nearly doubles revenue, and then the 6th month in 2019 is the beginning of how we forecasted our 19 estimates. And then we took Q3 from the 10Q and deduced that only 19 days of Artisan was included in that. So we took a contribution per day and augmented Q3 in order to get a combined Q3. And then for Q4, we built that out with a 3% increase, getting us a little bit above the guidance provided by Advanced Energy.
So over the last 3 years, Advanced Energy has had an average historical EBITDA margin of 27%. Throughout the similar time period, Artisan has had an average EBITDA margin of 9%. We project that the combined EBITDA margin in 2020 will be at 17%. If you take a look at the chart in the middle, you can see that we project that the margins will converge. One of the reasons we project this is the significant reduction in acquisition-related costs, and second reason being the realization of synergies, such as the consolidation of suppliers that will reduce costs in the supply chain. As you can see here, our projections are a little bit less ambitious than guidance. This is because this is the largest acquisition that Advanced Energy has done to date, and we believe there will be some unexpected hurdles that they'll need to overcome. I'll pass it on to Anton and Baraj.
Thank you, Alexis. So to put together everything that Sterling and Alexis just talked about, we used a discounted cash flow valuation methodology to come up with our share price. Here we have the calculation of our unlevered free cash flows, which are the cash flows available to all shareholders in the firm. The top line is incorporating approximately a 16% compounded annual growth rate of the top line revenue of the combined entity, Advanced Energy, as well as Artisan. The net present value for our unlevered free cash flows were calculated using the weighted average cost of capital, and Viraj is going to tell you a little bit about that calculation.
Thanks, Anton. So we use the weighted average cost of capital to discount the unlevered free cash flows. We think that the beta is a very accurate representation of Advanced Energy's risk in the market, and the risk-free rate and the market risk premium were used to come to a final weighted average cost of capital of 8.6%.
The next step in the valuation process was coming up with the terminal value of the company. We came up with a terminal growth rate by applying the GDP growth rate in the various regions, geographic regions that Advanced Energy operates in, and their share of revenue at AEIS to get a terminal growth rate of 3.8%. We grew the terminal year free cash flows by 1 plus the terminal growth rate, and then discounted that by R minus G using the Gordon growth methodology. On the right is our calculation to come to a equity value from the enterprise free cash flow valuation methodology. We have to adjust it for minority interest as well as debt net of cash. And this, we were able to calculate a share price of $79.10. After doing this methodology, we decided to apply the exit multiple methodology to make sure that we had a good gut check, to make sure that our estimations were in line. Viraj is going to tell you about that a little bit.
So like Anton said, we did EV to EBITDA just to do a secondary valuation to make sure our primary was in line. We took the sub-industry averages of EV to EBITDA based on the 4 previous industries that Advanced Energy operates in. And then we took an average of those sub-industry multiples to get a final multiple of 9.54. This is the same process for equity valuation as the Gordon growth methodology, just put in line with an EV to EBITDA method. And the result gives us a share price very, very close to our original primary method, which was a really good sign that our gut check was correct and that our assumptions in the valuation are also in line. Now Sam is going to talk about the risks and catalysts for Advanced Energy.
Thanks, Viraj. So as Alexis explained earlier, we will see compressed margins resulting immediately after this acquisition, but we project that gross EBITDA and operating margins will stabilize by 2024 at 40, 24, and 20% respectively. Additionally, the bullwhip effect will have some risk on our investment thesis, as small changes in end user demand can greatly affect Advanced Energy's inventory levels. And the top 7 customers of the combined company will contribute about 50% of revenue, but ultimately, Artisan diversifies the revenue stream while concurrently doubling 2018 revenue. Therefore, moving forward, that reduces the risk of a single customer. Lastly, Artisan will take time to integrate, and its management team will stay on board for the entire integration. Additionally, employee headcount is expected to change multiple times pre, during, and post-integration. But post-integration, Advanced Energy and Artisan's management teams will integrate and stabilize with the adequate amount of individuals staying on with the knowledge to manage the combined company moving forward. And now Anton's going to touch on our investment thesis again.
Thanks, Sam. So just to wrap up everything that we talked about, hopefully we're able to give you a convincing rationale behind our buy recommendation, and we would just like to reiterate the buy recommendation with a $79.10 share price. And with that, we'd like to thank you and open it up to questions.
Sure. So you have a $16 million combined company synergies, and you think think that's going to change the margin is one of your arguments. Can you tell me why you think 16 million is a lot of synergies or a small amount of synergies given the company size of the merger?
Directed, sorry.
To anyone?
Okay, sorry.
You want to take that?
Okay. So we looked at the synergies that were provided in the guidance, and one of our main concerns was the scale of the acquisition. And so we brought it down a slight amount to 16, but what we really did was extend the accomplishment of those synergies out farther than guidance recommended. And so it was a time delay on the synergies because of the size of the acquisition.
You're going at, from what I'm hearing, 3% total forecast revenue.
Why don't you use the microphone?
Oh, sorry. You're looking at 3% overall revenue, annualized revenue growth, if I understood that correctly.
The 3% was a growth from Q3 to Q4 in fiscal year 19. The overall 5-year